What is going on, guys and girls? Welcome back to TV and Me. I'm of course Kevin, and it's time for The Walking Dead. Oh shit, they meeting to make terms or something?
We have a lot to talk about.
Woo! This could be an interesting episode.
You attacked us. Makes things pretty clear. I was trying to make things clear. I could have killed you all. I didn't. I'm gonna remove my weapon. Show that I mean to negotiate in good faith. I'd like you to do the same. See? No trouble.
Just keep it on you, Rick. Don't fucking put it away like he has. Don't trust him. So keep it on you. Fucking dickheads.
I wanted you to talk. Too many people have died for no reason. Let's end this.
I heard about the raids, the heads, Maggie.
Merle did that.
No, you know what I'm talking about.
You know all about me, and I know all about you. I don't care about any of that.
Maybe I should go inside.
The governor thought it best if he and Rick spoke privately.
Who the hell are you?
Milton Mammoth.
Great. You brought his butler.
I'm his advisor. I don't feel like I need to explain myself to the henchmen.
Better watch your mouth, sunshine.
Look, if you and I are gonna be out here pointing guns at each other all day, do me a favor. Shut your mouth.
Oh.
We don't need this. If all goes south in there, we'll be at each other's throats soon enough.
Fuck him up, Daryl. I know it's not wise. I know that's not what should happen, but I don't know. I just want Daryl to punch him in the face, just for my satisfaction.
What you should be doing is loading some of this firepower in a truck and paying a visit to the governor.
You suggesting that we just go in and kill him?
Yeah, I am.
Can't take the risk of putting them in the crossfire. It's my decision. It's final.
Woodbury takes west to the river. Prison takes east.
Each other.
Sorry, what is this?
It's a solution.
Absolutely not.
What the hell am I doing here? You told me.
Told him what?
You told me he was willing to talk.
I am. I'm here for one thing only. Your surrender.
Oh, you want surrender? Come get it. You think we hit Woodbury heavy last time?
Just take it easy, all right? We're here to settle this.
You're right.
Yeah, Andrew, because that's working so far.
What?
Rick and I, we got a lot to talk about.
I'm not
I
leaving.
came to talk to him.
Again, poor naive Andrea.
Wasn't Merle your lieutenant?
He was helpful, yeah.
You blame him for scooping up Glenn and Maggie in the first place?
Exactly. I was trying to sort it out when you attacked.
So it was his fault?
He's a wild card, but he's effective.
I thought you'd take responsibility.
Andrea told me about your baby, that it might be your partner's. But you're caring for her, and I admire that. Restitution for your own lack of insight.
Fucking Andrea.
All right. You first. Pussy.
I think they're having a bit of a peacock dance at the minute.
You army or something?
Nah, I just hate these things. After what they did. Life. Kids.
Sucks.
Okay, I didn't expect these two to be bonding.
I'm sure they'll do their little dance, and tomorrow, next day, they'll give the word.
I know.
I was at work one day, taking shit from a boss half my age and an IQ even lower. And the phone rang. My wife had been in an accident. I sat there, holding that phone, knowing that I would never see her again. Gone. It's just an accident. She'd left a voicemail asking me to call her, but I hadn't had a chance yet. I sat there clutching that phone thinking, what did she want? Just to check in. asked me to pick something up for dinner. What did she want?
He's fucking playing with him. He's using that story to get into Rick's head with his own wife, isn't he?
Hey, you're not going.
I don't need permission.
I'm not gonna let you put them in danger.
Nut up already, boy. Sky cops a feel of your woman, and you pussy out like this. Get out of my way.
No.
Oh, fucking hell, that would hurt.
Let me go! Let me go!
Fucking Merle.
What happened with Maggie?
He's a sick man.
I can't go back there.
We're family. You belong with us. But if you join us, it's settled.
So this fight, it will go down to the last man.
Not if we kill you first, motherfucker.
So let's end it. One thing that makes this all alright.
Ah, he wants Michonne.
I want Michonne. Turn her over and this all goes away.
I wondered why they showed us all that stuff between Rick and Michonne in the last episode.
One woman worth all those lives of your prison.
And how do you explain letting me get away?
I must have been seduced by your sterling personality. You coming with me or not? You shogun the governor's ass. I'll take care of the rest. We'll be home before you know it.
And what about Andrea?
Bullets fly. She's gonna have to make her choice real quick.
You're on your own. You get people killed, it's on you.
She obviously still feels something for Andrea then. I thought she completely cut that tie, but it seemed to be what changed her mind then.
I made it all about me. And you needed your space, and I didn't give you that.
Oh, I didn't need my space from you. I just wanted you to see me. I'm with you. I'm always with you, you know.
I'm sorry. So why waste your time on a two-bit vendetta? Why risk it all?
He wouldn't.
Sort of beneath you, don't you think?
You could save your son, save your daughter, everyone you know. It's your choice.
It's not, because the second you hand her over, he's demonstrated that he's not trustworthy, so the second you do that, he's just going to end up killing everyone anyway. It's who he is.
You can have everything you want. I told you I don't care about you.
Don't fall for it, Rick. Please don't fall
You
for
think
it.
about it.
Well, there's her choice. She's gone back with him again.
Position gunmen all around that feed store. The minute you see Michonne, you open fire. Kill the others, but you keep her alive. What about the deal?
The best way to avoid a slaughter.
That is a slaughter.
He wants the prison. He wants us dead. For what we did to Woodbury. We're going to war. Won't shut up. He gave me a choice.
What does he want?
Michonne,
He'll kill her.
and then kill us anyway. What if this is the answer?
No, Rick. Don't question yourself. You got it right first time round with your gut reaction.
Why didn't you tell them?
They need to be scared. Are you willing to sacrifice your daughter's lives for her?
Why are you telling me?
I'm hoping you can talk me out of it.
So there we are, episodes 12 and 13. And episode 12, first off, there isn't really much to talk about that episode because it was basically about Morgan, and it was about Michonne slowly becoming part of the group, or Rick accepting her into the group. The first thing with Morgan, and I have to say, that speech he gave to Rick was just incredible. It brought a tear to my eye because you could tell the turmoil, like the inner turmoil he was going through as he was saying his lines, and you could see it in his eyes how much it devastated him. The fact that he had the opportunity to shoot his wife, and his wife is the one that killed his son at a later date. And I mean, you could tell he was reliving that moment as he gave that speech, like I say, and it was heartbreaking. It was horrible. One thing I picked up on as well when Rick was trying to get Morgan to come back to the group was he saw how crazy Morgan was, and in a way I think he sort of related to him because, again, his wife died, his son died, his wife died, and he had turned crazy. And I think at that moment, because Rick is aware what's going on with him, he's aware that, you know, he's seen things which he shouldn't be seeing, and he knows that he isn't right at the moment. And the fact he was trying to get Morgan to come back to the group was his way of being able to rescue him, so he could see a way of rescuing himself from his own craziness. That's how I saw it anyway, and the fact Morgan chose not to come with him, I don't know if that bodes well for Rick, whether he sees that he wasn't able to save Morgan from, you know, the mania, the craziness, and does he now feel as though he won't be able to save himself from that same craziness? It's a tough one, and I really do wish Morgan had come back with the group because what an actor, what a performer, and, you know, I like the character. You can tell he's a good guy. He's gone through so much, and it's had its effect on him, and now he sees his mission in life as just to clear zombies. You know, you saw it written everywhere, clear, and he kept saying clear, and I did actually say, what does he mean by clear? But I think it's the fact he set up all these traps, all these booby traps to catch zombies and to burn them, to get rid of them. He sees it as his mission in life now, to clear the world of these walkers, and I can't blame him, but I would have preferred him to come back to the group and to be with Rick because, like I say, an amazing character, an amazing actor, and I feel like he would have been an amazing guy to be at the side of Rick to help support him through everything that's going to be going on going forward. Like I say, also in that episode, it was mainly about Michonne, and Carl went off because he wanted to get a picture of him and his family, his mum and his dad, which I understand to a degree. It's the last picture, he said, it's the last picture of them, so he wanted to get it. He went, Michonne stuck by his side, you know, she made up some bullshit excuse as to why she had to go with him. Well, it was sort of bullshit. She said he needed help carrying a cradle, which he did, but, you know, that was a way of making him see that he needs someone to go with him. And she went with him, they got the picture, they got the cradle, she bonded with Carl a little bit. Rick gained some respect for Michonne because he saw what she was doing and that she was helping him, and that whole moment, that whole episode sort of built up into this episode we've just watched, and it's the reason Rick is doubting whether to hand over Michonne to the governor. Before I do move on to this episode though, there's one quick little thing I want to say about the previous episode, and that was that whole sequence with the guy asking for help, running behind the car, shouting for him to stop. You know, it was a theme at the beginning, and then at the end we saw that he'd been eaten by zombies, and instead of picking up the guy, they stopped, they reversed once he was dead and picked up the pack. A pack is worth more than a human life, and in this world that seems to be the case because you don't know who you can trust, and it is cold. I said it in the reaction, it's cold, but they didn't pick up the man, but they picked up the pack. So let's move on to this episode, and first off, the Rick governor negotiations. Straight off the bat we saw the governor wasn't trustworthy because he had a gun duct taped to the edge of the table out of sight, because he hung up his gun so it looked like he didn't have one, but should things go sour he had that gun there hid from Rick. So straight away that said to me, whatever he says in this discussion he's not going to stick by, and let's be honest, all the stuff that's gone on in the past is proof that he's not honest, or he's not going to stick to his word. And, you know, true to what I thought, they had the discussion, they agreed, well, they sort of agreed that if Rick hands over Michonne, then they can go their separate ways. And I guess you didn't think so either. We knew he was full of shit, and he went back to Woodbury, he spoke to Milton and told him that the second they get the opportunity, they're just going to kill the whole group and take Michonne alive. Presumably because he wants to torture her, because that is the sort of sick motherfucker he is. One other thing I should pick up on, actually, is the fact that the group started to bond. At the beginning, Daryl and that other guy, I'm not sure of his name, they had sort of a clash, and then they had like this peacock fight, and then they sort of bonded over a cigarette. And then we saw a scene with Herschel and Milton where they started to talk with each other, and they started to discuss things, and they had a bit of a joke, and it seemed like they were bonding. And actually, Milton seemed a bit shocked and disgusted when the governor told him of the plan to kill them all and just to take Michonne alive, even though he'd agreed to something else. Milton seemed a bit repulsed by that. So maybe there's a way Milton could switch to Rick's side. You know, it's a long shot. Maybe he'll see the bullshit the governor is spitting out now, and maybe he'll decide to move over to their side and betray the governor. I mean, I keep saying people are going to betray other people and they never end up doing it, but he seemed disturbed enough that maybe it's a possibility. Then at the end there, we saw Rick go back to the group, tell him about the governor and his proposal, which he lied about, and I'm happy he lied about. Even though he's lying to the group, you know, he's not telling them the truth, I think he's saving them the internal dilemma of having to decide between Michonne and going to war. I mean, it's the dictatorship in action. He's taking that decision and saying, no, we're going to war. And, you know, he may be hiding it from them, but like I say, I think he's saving them in the long run, because he's making them scared. He's giving them a purpose to go forward and to fight, because they've got no choice. Whereas if he had given them the choice the governor gave them and said, look, it's either Michonne or we go to war, I don't think enough of them would decide to hand over Michonne. So then they would have in the back of their head the whole time, you know, we could have avoided this, we could have avoided this. And it wouldn't be useful. Whereas knowing they've got no choice, I think that is more useful to them to go forward and to fight him. At the end there, we saw Rick discussing with Herschel as well, the fact that he wanted Herschel to talk him out of going to war and just to hand over Michonne. I mean, he even put it to him, he said, are you willing to sacrifice your daughters for Michonne? Because that's what it could come to. And, you know, Herschel sort of backed off from that question, and you could see he wasn't happy making that decision, whereas Rick, he's had to make it, and it didn't look like Herschel was going to talk him out of it, so it looks like this is the way they're going to head. They're just going to hit him head on, and I don't know if you saw it, I sort of got a wry smile on my face in that moment, because it's for my own selfish reasons, but I want them to go to war. I want them to end this man, because Andrea's not going to do it. Even though I said it, I don't think Milton or anyone's going to do it. It's going to have to come to a head, because no matter what, we saw the governor isn't going to stick to his word. Whether he gets Michonne and they hand him over, he's still going to attack. So it's going to happen either way. I just want it to happen on their terms. I guess we should bring up Andrea in this whole situation as well. And for a moment, I don't know if anything's going to come out of this, but for a moment it looked as though her finding out what happened with Maggie has sort of turned her against the governor. But the problem is, I've had those moments in the past with Andrea and her finding out stuff, but she's still not changed her mind. I mean, she seemed a bit more disturbed about it this time, because she even said to Herschel, I don't think I can go back. But again, she ended up going back. Was that because she feels responsible for the people in Woodbury, so she feels as though she has to go back? Or is it because, again, she's forgiven the governor for what he's done? I don't know. I'm swaying between she's doing it for the people, that's the reason she's going back. But again, she's had those blinkers on, and I haven't got enough trust in Andrea's decision making with all the stuff that's gone on that she'll do anything about it. I have a feeling she's just going to sit back and watch what happens, and, you know, she won't act. I hope she acts. I hope I'm proved wrong, but, you know, like I say, not enough trust in her anymore, which is a shame. I'm actually wondering about where Tyrese and Sasha and that is now. Is the governor going to use that group as some sort of pawn to lead Rick and his group into a trap? Because they know him and they sort of semi-trust him, maybe he'll use those to lead him into a trap. I don't know. That is if Rick decides, like he isn't at the moment, decides not to meet the governor at the place where they were meant to meet in 2 days to hand over Michonne. Again, it's all up in the air. I think they're going to be used in some way, Tyrese and Sasha and Ben and Alan, and I think that they all have a role to play, as well as Andrea. I think she still has a role to play in this, but we yet to see what it is. One last thing about this episode as well, and that's the fact Merle wanted to go out and attack the governor while they were negotiating. And I said in a previous episode, if they killed the governor, the war could end there and then, because he's the warmonger. He's the one that's instigating the whole thing. And now the Daryl's sort of bonded a little bit with that guy, and Milton sort of bonded with Herschel. Maybe this is the time to kill the governor, because once he's killed, that dictator is gone. And maybe they'll look and say, you know what, we don't hate these people, you know, we sort of understand where they're coming from. It's the vengeance of the governor that was sparking this war. He's the whole reason we're going to war. There's no other reason. We could just live in harmony. And like I say, Merle wanted to go there and kill him. But whether it was the right decision in that moment when they were negotiating, I don't know. I mean, because he was negotiating and he was in the presence of Rick, maybe that would have sparked them up to fight the rest of Woodbury. It's a tough one. It is a real tough one. And the more I think about it, I come up for different arguments for both sides. But I feel like the governor does have to die. I just wish Andrew had killed him in that moment at the bed, because I think that would have been the end of it. But we can't always have what we want. One last thing I just want to touch on, and that's the fact Glenn and Maggie seem to have made up. You know, they've finally got that tension sorted. They're finally back together. They've beaten the governor and what he did to him, and they've beaten Merle and what he did to him, and they've just sorted their problems. They're back together, and hopefully that's the end of it, because I think those two characters work together better as a team. You know, when they're apart from each other, Glenn's really moody. He's not the character I like, and Maggie's just upset and crying in corners. But when they're together, they are a lot stronger and they're better as a unit. So hopefully it continues to be that way. And yeah, I love them both. But let's leave that there. Woo! 2 episodes done, 2 episodes down. It was a long one, but it was worth it. I really enjoyed it. It was good catching up with the show again. But no doubt in this review, I've forgotten to speak about something, some nuance or something going on. But I'm trying to remember everything over 2 episodes on the spot. So if I have, just put it down in the comment section below, discuss it yourself, and then I'll bring it up in next week's recap. I'll do a proper recap and another proper review next week on 1 episode. So until then guys, thank you for watching, and bye bye. Thank you for watching Season 3, Episode 12 and 13 of The Walking Dead with me. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, because it helps me and the channel grow. Also, if you've got any thoughts or speculation about these 2 episodes, please leave them in the comment section below. If you want to stay up to date with the channel and hear these little bits of news like this doubleheader Sunday, you can follow me on Twitter @TVandMeReacts, or you can subscribe.